Amber Heard is attempting to convince the public that she was Johnny Depp's partner for years by juggling a number of balls in the air. She's a new mother, which as you all should know is a full-time occupation, and of course, she's attempting to prevent Johnny Depp from having the final laugh in the courtroom saga that they're involved in. But unfortunately for her, one of the balls has already fallen and more are certain to follow. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at Johnny Depp's reaction to Amber Heard and Elaine Bredehoft facing 10 years in jail. Yeah, you heard it right. So let's start our video. The appeal contingency and order ruling made by the judge in this case on June 24th has altered how Amber Heard will have to go about turning things in her favor. The verdict in the defamation lawsuit was rendered on that date, and immediately Amber Heard's attorneys attempted to start an appeal, but the judge stopped them in their tracks by requiring her to post an $8.35 million bail with a 6% interest rate attached before she could submit an appeal. To reiterate, Amber Heard claims to be experiencing severe financial difficulties, therefore it was a heavy burden on her shoulders and mine that she was required to collect the necessary funds to submit an appeal that she might not win or even be granted. And now that the verdict has been rendered, it is clear that her huge swing was a miss, and she gained nothing from experience other than her appearance of a frantic woman attempting to escape her fate. Amber Heard is being Amber Heard. Things won't stop here, but she's running out of options in terms of how to appeal and how she may attempt to get the court filing and the money verdict overturned. We've been quite candid about Amber Heard's situation over the past few months, but in reality, it's necessary because everything she's done has had such a concentrated focus that you question if she's genuinely pursuing one objective or just attempting to juggle so many things till she can't anymore. Since the defamation trial went against her, Heard has conducted interviews, sources have leaked information, etc., and the messaging has remained consistent. She claims that she was disadvantaged in court, but one of the jurors came out to say that this was a complete falsehood. They were unimpressed by the celebrity presence, and many of them had no social media accounts. Then, Heard attempted to have the case dismissed on the grounds that the juror was a fraud, despite the fact that they were not and did nothing wrong. Even attempts to overturn decisions based on evidence that was not offered were dismissed. Amber Heard has tried everything to make things work and failed each time, so one can only speculate what she wants to do next, as all of her efforts have failed. Amber Heard's request for a mistrial in the defamation case filed by her ex-husband, in which a Virginia jury ruled in favor of Johnny Depp, was denied by the judge presiding over the case, if you haven't already heard. This was decided on July 13th when Fairfax County Circuit Court Judge Penny Azcarate rejected her allegation that she was not given a fair trial because a juror allegedly served without being summoned, noting the lack of evidence of fraud or malfeasance that requires a mistrial. That's a major setback for Heard's campaign, if you will, since many believe that if this could be confirmed, it would indeed result in a mistrial, and things would go her way temporarily. However, as you've just seen, this is not actually what transpired. The judge who presided over Depp's 6-week trial against Heard wrote in a judgment that the juror in question had been vetted by the court, met statutory standards for service, and was approved by both Heard and Depp's legal teams. The court also added that the jury list was supplied to Heard's attorney 5 days before the trial, so the actress had the time to protest and strike this juror for whatever reason, but they did not. The documents state that the juror was screened and that the full jury deliberated and reached a decision. The only evidence before this court is that the juror and all jurors adhered to their oaths, the court's instructions, and its orders. Therefore, this court is bound by the jury's verdict. A party cannot wait until getting an adverse result before objecting to an issue that has been known since the trial's inception. The order requires. As previously said, this is a major setback for Amber Heard's ambitions to attempt a reversal of fortune and potentially win the case. On July 8th, Heard's legal team filed a motion for a mistrial, alleging in court documents acquired by E! News that the jury roster contained a person born in 1945, making them 77 years old, yet voter registration information revealed a 52-year-old with the same last name living at the older person's residence. Clearly, the guy who appeared for jury duty bearing his name was the younger of the two. The lawsuit stated that the 52-year-old juror who had served for 6 weeks had never been summoned to serve on April 11th. In the filings, Heard's attorney stated that the star's right to due process had been violated and that a mistrial should be declared and a new trial ordered. We were not exaggerating when we stated that this could have been a monumental moment for her. In fact, having a false juror or one who wasn't meant to be there would be more than enough to cause a mistrial if they can demonstrate malice. So, you can see why she and her attorneys filed not one, but 2 motions in an attempt to have this granted so that they can plan for the mistrial's aftermath. But that did not occur. And while this attempt may be closed, the events that led us to this point are still worth discussing since, as stated, if there were a sham juror in the court, it would be a grave miscarriage of justice. However, the court found that this was not the case and that the evidence presented by her team did not amount to much. The judge ruled that there was no fraud because the summons did not include a birth date. In addition, as the judge remarked, all parties had determined that this juror, regardless of who he was competent enough to render a verdict in his trial. That is precisely what they did. The fact that this juror was approved by all parties and thoroughly screened by the court indicates that they were more than qualified to perform their assigned duties. And that's all for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section down below. I hope that you found this video interesting, and if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. See you in the following video with some more of the latest updates, and until then, stay tuned.